Hey guys, it's Varun Inamdar and welcome to Get Curried. Well, today, before going ahead, let me take this very quick opportunity to thank all of you for the amazing response for the Indian Culinary League. Well, on that note, welcome to Indian Culinary League. To make your IPL nights exciting, let me show you BBQ Popcorns. For popcorns, of course, the first thing and the most important thing that you need are corn kernels. Well, these are dehydrated corn kernels which have been a gift from Mexico to the entire world. Well, abroad you get a lot of different varieties of corn kernels. Unfortunately, in India, you just get one variety. Put that to use. Well, the first thing on that note is making the popcorn as basic, as simple as 1 teaspoon of oil in an extremely hot pan. Allow this to heat on high flame. Make sure the oil is dispersed on the entire bottom of the pan. Just smear it lightly like so and allow this to heat nice and almost till smoking point. Well, I do not know how many of you are actually aware of the principle of a popping corn. Well, this corn kernel, the exterior is known as a hull. The inside has around 15 to 20% of moisture which expands. Of course, the principle of science, it expands on heating. Let's pop a few in oil just to check the heat of the oil. Well, here if you've noticed, we already have a few corn kernels that have popped, and that is popcorn. Let's remove this and transfer all of this into this hot oil. Well, you need to do a little at a time because this is going to multiply almost 20 times. So be careful, do not get adventurous and do a lot of it together because that may really cost you. Well, to this, let's add in just a little salt, not too much, because we're also going to use salted butter later. Well, all you need to do now is give this a quick stir and allow the entire exterior to kind of heat up so that the heat travels straight within. Well, after 30 to 40 seconds of stirring it like so, we need to build up pressure. So we're covering this with a lid on high flame, and next you will realize in the next 15 seconds, the corn will start popping. Well, in the next 15 seconds, you'll have to start shaking the pan like so, because you want the heat to be well transferred onto all the corn kernels. You will hear this amazing popping sound, and that is nothing but the corn turning into popcorn. Well, do not get adventurous and open the lid at this point in time, otherwise the next few hours will get into cleaning your kitchen with the flying popcorn out of the pan. So a few more jiggles like so, and suddenly you'll realize that the sound has stopped. At this point, off goes the flame, and let's open the lid. Be careful, you'll still have a few flying off, but that's fine. So, ta-da! Here you have popcorn. Well, the next thing is to cool this down completely, and for that, you need to transfer this in a glass bowl. Popcorn is ready. Let's take it to level 2 and flavor it. The flavor, as promised, is barbecue. So let's turn the flame on, and to this, I'm adding in some white sugar. Well, you could also use brown sugar. Choice is yours. Let's spread this across the base of the pan and allow this to caramelize to a beautiful golden brown color. Well, there are two different types of caramels in the world. The first one is a dry caramel and the other one is a wet caramel. What we are making is a dry caramel. The wet caramel, of course, has a little bit of water. We do not want the corn to get soggy, and that's the reason why I'm making dry caramel. Let's swirl the sugar in the pan like so. Ensure that it doesn't burn in spots. You do not need a dark colored caramel because eventually the color and the flavor is barbecue. For that, I'm going to use barbecue sauce. Now that all of the sugar has melted and turned to a beautiful golden brown color, let's lower the flame and add in barbecue sauce. Be very careful and slide it from one side. Do not just throw it in the pan because it may eventually fly back at you. Let's give that a stir, and to this add in a teaspoon of butter. Let's give this a quick stir, and to this I'm just going to increase the spice quotient a little, and for that I'm going to add in chili powder. You can avoid this completely or you can use cayenne or paprika. I leave that to you. And finally, some roasted cumin powder. You may choose to add some additional salt, but remember the fact that there's salt here in both the recipes. We use salt while popping the corn. We also have salt in the barbecue sauce and the butter. The next step, of course, is adding the popped corn into the sauce. At this stage, you need to be extremely quick because you do not want the corn to be lying in for a long time. You do not want it to turn soggy. You can turn the flame off. You can take an additional spatula or a spoon and just toss it lightly like so. The next step, of course, is to mix this nicely, quickly. Do not take a lot of time. And this next goes on a tray. You can also use a butter paper or a baking sheet. The idea here is to cool this down completely and quickly. The barbecue popcorn is kind of warm now, manageable. You can do this with your fingers. With this, you have your amazing, quick and easy barbecue popcorns ready in just a few minutes. I sincerely hope you enjoy making barbecue popcorns at home as much as I did. Do not forget to like and share the video and get curried with the Indian Culinary League.